You know that sinking feeling, right? You look up and see a mysterious stain growing on your ceiling, right near the skylight. Well, don't panic. In this explainer, we're going to break down absolutely everything you need to know about that leak, from finding where it's coming from to fixing it for good.
So, you've spotted it, that telltale discoloration that just screams water damage. Your first thought might be, oh no, this is going to be a disaster. But your first action should be investigation. So let's dive into this and figure out exactly what's going on up there.
Okay, first things first. We need to confirm our suspicions. Spotting a leak is really all about knowing what to look for. And believe me, the clues are usually right there in front of you.
And what's really interesting is that each of these signs tells its own little story. That discoloration, that's the classic sign of a slow, persistent leak that's been happening for a while. Active dripping, well, that's kind of obvious. It signals a much more immediate problem. If you actually see mold, it means that moisture has been hanging around for quite some time. And a draft, that tells you the seal itself has failed, letting in not just air, but, you guessed it, water.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Paying attention and catching these signs early can literally be the difference between a simple, easy fix and a major wallet-draining restoration project. So, we've confirmed there's a problem. The next logical step, then, is to find the cause. Let's play detective and uncover the usual suspects. Just take a look at this breakdown. It's pretty eye-opening. Almost half, 45% of all leaks are traced back to flashing issues. That is a huge number. Then you've got roofing failures and just the simple age of the skylight as other major players. And that last 10%, condensation, well, that one's a little tricky, and we'll get to it in just a second.
So, what even is flashing? Simply put, it's the waterproof seal that connects your skylight to the roof. Think of it as the first line of defense against water. But over time, the weather can crack it, the metal can corrode, or, and this is a big one, it might have been installed wrong from day one. This happens a lot, actually, because general roofers aren't always skylight specialists.
Now, this is a question that stumps a lot of homeowners. You see moisture, but is that water actually coming from the outside? So, here's the deal, and this is a crucial distinction. A leak is an external failure. Water is getting in from the outside. Condensation, on the other hand, is an internal issue. It's when warm, moist air from inside your house, from a hot shower or boiling pasta, hits that cold skylight glass and fogs it up. The fix for condensation is better ventilation, not calling a roofer.
All right, you've done your homework, and it looks like you've got a genuine leak on your hands. It's time to call a professional. But what does that process actually look like? Let's pull back the curtain and demystify it.
Any good contractor is going to follow a pretty clear playbook. It always starts with a thorough inspection to find the true source of the problem. For small stuff, a simple reseal might do the trick. If the roof around the skylight is the issue, they'll patch that up. But for older, failing units or really major damage, replacement is often the smartest long-term solution.
And that, of course, brings us to the question on everyone's mind. What is this going to cost? Understanding the financial side of things is totally key to making a confident decision.
For those minor repairs, we're talking resealing a small gap or patching a tiny crack, you're typically looking at this range. This is the best-case scenario for sure. Now, if the problem is a bit more moderate, like, say, replacing all of the flashing or patching a whole section of the roof around the skylight, the cost is likely going to fall into this bracket.
And for a full skylight replacement, yeah, you're looking at $1,000 or more. It's a bigger investment, but it doesn't just solve the problem permanently. It's also a great chance to upgrade to a more modern, energy-efficient model.
Naturally, after seeing those numbers, you're probably wondering, hey, can my insurance policy help me out here? It's a great question, but the answer, well, it's not always so simple.
And this is the critical distinction every homeowner needs to know. If a sudden, violent storm tore off your flashing, insurance might cover it. But if that leak just develops slowly over years from normal wear and tear, you'll probably have to cover that cost yourself. It really all comes down to the cause.
So, to protect this investment, choosing the right professional is absolutely everything. This is not the time to just go with the cheapest quote. Make sure they're licensed and insured, check their reviews, and, this is important, specifically ask about warranties on their workmanship and how much experience they have with skylights.
Now that we've covered how to react to a leak, let's talk about the best strategy of all, preventing one from ever starting in the first place. A little bit of maintenance goes a very, very long way.
This is your action plan. A couple of times a year, just give it a good visual inspection. Clear away any leaves or branches that could trap water up there. Proactively resealing it every few years really reinforces its defenses. And hey, if you spot a damaged shingle nearby,
Fix it immediately before it becomes a much bigger issue.
Ultimately, you might face this choice: repair or replace. The logic is actually pretty straightforward. For a young skylight with just a small problem, a repair totally makes sense. But if the unit is old, the damage is widespread, or you're just looking for better energy efficiency, replacement is hands down the smarter long-term move.
And that really brings us to the final crucial question you have to ask yourself. A well-maintained skylight is a fantastic asset, flooding your home with all that beautiful natural light. But a neglected one, it can quickly become a very serious liability. And at the end of the day, the choice of which one you have is entirely in your hands.